Hi, hello. Got quite a lot to sort of talk to you about this week. In fact, it's been a week because they've been talking all week about what they wanted to say. So I've got a lot written down, and I'll start going through it with you. So they've been talking about letting go this week. They've been talking about moving with the times, moving with the changing energies, and not resisting that change. So they've been talking about, as they have before, the planet itself is changing her vibration, and that this is inevitable, and the effects that it has in our lives and the way that we're going to change is inevitable as well. So not to resist that, but to just go with it and to keep moving. So if we don't, they were saying that the energy will push us to do that anyway. So we kind of, as I said, the word inevitable, we don't have a choice. So we will receive hints and nudges, realizations, epiphanies. Oh, it just could be a really deep knowing inside, our intuition, I suppose, to nudge us in a certain direction. And this is the purpose of these changes, is to strip away all that does not express the highest vibration of love. So anything that is not vibrating at the frequency of love, as we raise our vibration, will be pushed to leave our lives. Okay. So this is because, and I'm sure many of us have observed this over the last few months, and it's intensifying, of course, is that as our vibration raises, we see things that are not a match for that vibration of love so much more clearly, don't we? And it becomes quite intolerable, actually, and certainly makes us very uncomfortable at best, and unhappy at worst. So this is all the universe pushing us for things to resolve or leave our lives, one or the other. So in the past, it may have been, just to say, this is one of the things that they said, it may have been that in the past, whatever it is, whether it's a job, our location, a relationship, whatever it is in our lives, it may have been that in the past it was a match for our vibration. And this is what is often so difficult, isn't it? And why we resist change. But as I said, as our vibration changes and our vibration raises, it's no longer a match. And then the problems start, and because we're being pushed to make those changes. So what they said is to get on board with it, was the expression that they used, and also not to procrastinate. Now I have to say, I have to be honest here, I really do procrastinate myself, so that did make me laugh when they said that. In certain areas of my life anyway, I'm the queen of procrastination. So that was one for me there. But they were also quite reassuring in as much as they said, well, you know, what is meant for you will change with you. So it will also evolve with you, and it will change its vibration accordingly. And therefore it will stay in your life. So they, in as much as we find this difficult, emotionally difficult, and perhaps on a mental level, we find this quite difficult, they asked us to keep in mind the bigger perspective. Sorry, I'm just going to have a sip of water because my mouth is getting dry. Yeah, so they asked us to keep in mind the bigger perspective. So on a personal level, in our own lives, and our own bodies, it's the micro level, and on the planetary level, of course, it's macro. But we need to keep in step with the planet, and the planet is supporting us to do this. But we are part of a much bigger whole, as we know. So we're coming into, the whole planet is coming into alignment with the universal frequency of love. And so we need to keep in step with that. Hence why they said we need to keep moving and we need to not resist change. So in practical terms, in terms of dealing with change, you know, they said bewildering was one of the words that they used. So they said, you know, it could, at the very least, be bewildering at times. And at times it could be actually traumatic, depending on what it is that we need to let go of or how resistant we are to that change. So they said keep grounded, and we talked about that last week. Also, it's really important to stay in our bodies, and they suggested breathing techniques for that. You can look those up online. Equally, meditation, they mentioned, again, there are lots and lots of techniques and meditations available online. And particularly meditation that helps us to stay in our hearts and not get too bogged down in our heads. I think they talked about that a couple of weeks ago, didn't they? And also to recognise, with regard to not allowing ourselves to get stuck in our heads, to recognise what is our programming, and what is fear that is coming up within us, and to take that, when we do recognise that, to take that into our heart space and to just let that flow. So again, don't resist that, just allow that to flow through your body. Recognise it, acknowledge it, name it, and then release. Then it will release, it will dissipate. And then one sort of last thing to share, which I thought was just rather lovely, actually. They talked about laughing and smiling. And what they said was that laughing and smiling is the quickest way to release the right chemicals into our bodies, and to literally lighten our bodies and lighten our hearts. And that is in turn will raise our vibration. So it's the quickest way to do that. And joy, that feeling of joy is a facet of love, of course. They did make one comment, and they said, and laughing with, not at. So I'll leave that with you. They mentioned that in terms of it being a facet of love. So yeah, so whatever, you know, those things that make us joyful in life. So personally, I'm a great music lover, love nothing more than putting on a track that lifts my heart, or having a dance or sing along. Not that I'm very good, but nevertheless makes you feel good, or whatever it is for you. We all have our own passions, so whatever it is that really puts joy in your heart and makes you happy, do that. And being around people that you can laugh with and smile with. So yeah, that was the encouragement that they had, and I just thought that was lovely. And I have to say, actually, in channeling various beings, I have yet to come across one that doesn't have a strong sense of humour and isn't actually laughing and smiling. So bearing in mind a lot of what they have to say is quite profound, they're also very lively, very happy and always laughing. So there we are. And to that end, actually, at the end, well, separate to this, I will post a song that Ayana sent out this week, and it did the job for me. It really made me feel good, so I'll share that as well. I'll do that after this post. So I'm going to go into channeling, and yeah, we'll see what they've got to say. As you know, sometimes they channel some words first, some messages first, and then get into the healing or the codes that they want to bring to you. And sometimes they don't, so we'll see what happens. Let's take another sip of water. Okay. Lele Shanghanda la Sundrupata la Sandarashta Totosta 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 Tarata Tarinka Tatara Sutona Maradita la Scendere at Dusta la Sintera Matatarela Etelera. We hope you enjoyed the messages that Arwen gave. Huge energy changes at the moment. We know you all know that. We know you're all feeling that. We want to give you some encouragement. While also spelling out to you the importance of what you need to do. Even at the hardest of times, we need to keep perspective. Find ways to lighten the load. We are all joyful beings by nature. The light is joyful. We know there are many changes, and you are being asked to make many changes. Some of these are very difficult for you. They may feel like tragedies. They are not. Have faith in your abilities, in your resilience. Find the joy in the moment. Many of you know that you are to stay in the present. Therein lies the joy. Don't get bogged down. Stuck in the mud. Don't slip in. You may get stuck and stay there. Okay, we want you to laugh. Okay, we want you to dance, even on your own. Sing. Find those beautiful things that you love, and let everything that is not love fall away. Just fall away. Let it go. We're going to give you some healing to ease your minds, to help you Let go of your programming. Those thoughts that you chase, like the dog chasing its tail. Ouroboros, a snake eating itself. No, don't do that. We will help you with this. Ease your mind. Like the song, Bridge Over Troubled Waters. These codes will help you. Okay. Ay, la seshena. Ay, esto mal. Uy, alla sesha. Olla sentare junto ripete tatina. Il se lo scianellari, il se ne scianellari tirare. Ula sinara litoro samalatenne sheirui. I se le sena contoruti shamala. I tonara titiri se la conto shunana. Isa, ela Isa, ela Isa. ولا شنخال سيومي ولا سنخال عاشي لا راسي أرى يسنرى إيشونو رأينزو موغي إيشولو Il sano sono maha kita kita ritsen to gentelese ushamal eshola وشوما خالص شيء ونمرتا ولا ستانا خاقينكا تقتا تكينكا لا تجندرماتا إيسوروتورا Ola se shemagale no genere Iso jole ala gunnormaiela Iso shala wesa Ola nesha la se wesa Ela shola wasa nesa Oi buzi ngala zendada bato Ita tatakinta tataresa nanara Ola beteteste Ele se peteste E suraba esto mala esto mala esto mala Ola sesha Ruya mala Ole marra ista narra tatatara sindapaka Ele sendo shatarera Weshuna yala sena ele Ona la hira ye Inara nira Akan tak kan kahin tak kahin tak kahin kala so tak kata tarara. Ok kaela kakala 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 akakanda kanda de kakana wa esa kakala wala esa kakala alawa asa kaka hinka inka o kaka ika akaka ika oya 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 I oya o koya sana Eki, akala, ala kala, awa, oya, hina ala, wa, oya, iso oro, kakala, wa, isho, oya, ola, po, ita, kakakando, eki, tara, kaka. Ele son shamala zan trumala. Ele san khala. Ele son khala shintaraya. Ele sonwala. Ele sonwala. Leshona. Leshona. Hayal. Elana letusha. Elana letusha. Elana letusha nalina. 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 Ele son shumacha lese toshtana mala. Ole se shanacha. Ole se shanala se mala. Ole se shanacha la se shundaria. Area, 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 ashura, area, 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 ashura, area, area, area. قيا سلام على الشطورة الشونة الشير أخاي السرة التورة مالا وغندر الشعب إيرا تتندر إلا شقالة وتا ريتة وتا تشتري وتا شنتري هري 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 Shonatera, 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 Testa la Shona, la tua, sua, sua, sua. That was quite a long one, wasn't it? Sorry, my stomach's rumbling. Yeah, that was quite a long one today, and I definitely felt somebody new come in there, so that was quite interesting. And there was definitely somebody I haven't had before. I could feel in my throat different sounds, so yeah, I'll have to watch that back and see what that was like. yeah, so anyway, I just hope that you have all the laughter and smiles and joys during this week. And also, may we all stop procrastinating. Me too. All right, wishing you all the best. All right, have a lovely week. Bye.